What's going on, y'all? We doing a year-end review on the best sandwiches viewed on this channel. Right here, y'all. Right here. From the deep fried burger to the pork tenderloin waffle to that shrimp po' boy. But we gonna get started with that deep fried burger. So anyway, let's get it. So we gonna start off by forming our ground beef into balls. Now these balls are around about a quarter of a pound each. And then we're gonna go ahead and get them flattened out with my trusty press. Now you wanna wiggle this as you try to pull it up. That way that ground beef will be left down and you'll make your patty. Now once we have our patties formed, we're gonna go ahead and rain on them. Hit it with a little salt and a little pepper. Fresh, of course. Gotta use fresh pepper, y'all, always. And then we're gonna just simply press that salt and pepper in. Just a little bit, y'all. You ain't gotta hit it as hard, just pressing that salt and pepper in. You know, watching the video, I didn't see them season their meat, but I gotta season mine, y'all. And then we're gonna get it straight into that hot oil. Now this cooks very quickly, y'all. 2 to 3 minutes, this burger is ready to come out. And once it's halfway through, we're gonna give it a flip. Then we're gonna add our cheese on top. Yeah, cause that burger floating on top of that grease, y'all. And then we're gonna grab everything out of there, cause it don't take long. That oil from that burger is gonna finish melting off that cheese straight into that bun. And of course, you know I had to get wifey's in. Now after we got these burgers cooked up, we're gonna start dressing them. Hit it with a little mustard, some diced raw onion, and a couple of pickles. Then we gonna get that, I guess that bottom on, cause that's that bottom of that burger. And let's get us a bite, y'all. Let's get us a bite. Take a look at that, y'all. Now me, I thought this burger was very tasty. Them pickles and onions and mustard made for a great combination. The burger itself was not greasy at all. Very surprising. It was overall just tasty, y'all. I really enjoyed it. I think that salt and pepper is needed though, y'all. Always season your food. But so first thing first, you know we got to rain on them. We gonna hit them with my little special seasoning blend. Now you can just use a seafood seasoning for this, like Old Bay or something like that. But we're gonna get that seasoning on there and then give it a little bit of mix. Now if you want to know what my special seasoning blend has in it, just hit me in the comments and I'll be sure to let you know. Now after we get it seasoned up and mixed, we're gonna hit it with a little bit of Crystal hot sauce. 1/8 of a cup to be exact. Now if you use, say, a sriracha, you might want to add a little vinegar to your hot sauce just so you get that extra vinegary kick, because you need that vinegar for this marinade. But anyway, let's give that a mix and we're gonna let this marinate about 30 minutes. After 30 minutes are up, we're gonna get it into our seasoned flour, and we season our flour with that same seafood blend. Then we're gonna pop the top on it and give it a shaky shake, y'all. Give it that shaky shake. That's why I love to use a container, because you can just put that meat into that container and get that meat floured with no problem. And then we're going straight into that oil. Now, of course, our oil is at 350 degrees, give or take. You know, most of the time I might get in there at 340, but it'll still come up. Now, once we get our shrimp in, I'm gonna give it a little stir just to keep them from crowding each other. And after about 3 minutes, because these shrimp, y'all, it don't take long. Just time to get them out there fried. So of course we had to go ahead and make our own meal. So we're gonna start off with a tablespoon of whole grain mustard, then 2 tablespoons of mayo, and a couple of shots of that Crystal's hot sauce. And then we're gonna give that a mix, combining it all the way. Make sure it's well combined, y'all. You want that flavor all the way out through that meal. So after we get this combined, we want to go ahead and cut open our bread. Now me, I'm going to grab a little bit of this inner bread out, because it don't need that much bread, y'all. This bread a little bit too thick for me. I want to taste mostly shrimp and that good mayo. So of course, after we get that bread out, we're gonna get that mayo on. Once we get that mayo on, we're gonna start making our sandwich. Starting with our lettuce. Then our tomatoes. And of course, that beautifully fried shrimp. Oh man, my mouth is watering, y'all, just making this video. And let's get that lid back on top of that sandwich, which we gotta stuff that shrimp into that sandwich, y'all. Look at all that good shrimp in that sandwich. Then we gonna go ahead and cut it in half. And take a look at that cross section, y'all. Oh my goodness. I'm ready to eat. So let me go and get a bite. And just like I thought, this was so good. But anyway, what to do is get some potatoes and some boiling water. That's for our waffle, y'all. And then we're gonna turn our attention to that tenderloin. So we gonna go and rain on it with a little bit of that Cajun seasoning. Now you can use whatever Cajun seasoning that you want to, but this is the one that I use. And once we get that seasoned up, we're gonna get it straight into a pan with 2 tablespoons of olive oil in it. And all we looking for here is to get a good sear on it, just like this, y'all. But we want that sear all the way around it. Now once we get that sear down, we gonna get it out. And then we're gonna add about a half a cup of water, y'all, to that pan. Once we get that water in, we're gonna get our peaches in. Get them a little stir. Then we're gonna add in a half cup of brown sugar. Give that a mix. Add some nutmeg and some cinnamon. Then we're just gonna go ahead and give that a mix. And we just gonna bring this up to a light boil. And as soon as it come up to that boil, we're gonna add our pork tenderloin back in. Mix that around, getting those flavors all over that tenderloin. Then we're gonna get it into the oven at 350 degrees. Now while we're waiting on that, we're gonna go ahead and get our potatoes mashed. Add some flour, half a cup of sugar, 2 pinches of salt, and a little pepper. Crack an egg over in there. And then we're gonna start to mix that dough. Once we get everything combined in that dough, we're just gonna start looking for the consistency that we're looking for. So what we're gonna have to do is gonna add a little bit of water, and you wanna add a little bit at a time because you don't want it runny at all. You want this to be kind of thick. So take your time, and when you get done, it needs to look like this, y'all. Just like this. So once we get that right, we're gonna get it right on that waffle iron. Go ahead and close that lid up. And the way mine's work, once you close it, you get it a little flip. And then around 5 minutes later, that bad boy is done. And look at that waffle, y'all. Look at that waffle. And of course, once our pork loin reach 145, we let it rest, and then we cut right on into it, y'all. Cause you know what time it is now. It's time to eat. So let's build our waffle. So we're gonna start off with our peaches on the bottom, making sure that we get a little bit of that syrup that we made right on top of that waffle. On top of that waffle and them peaches, y'all. Then we're gonna hit it with a fried egg. I have me too. Added our pork tenderloin on top. And of course, I had to have me a little drizzle of a little syrup, y'all. Didn't use honey this time, but hey, I still like my syrup too, y'all. So let's go ahead and bite into this, y'all. So first thing we gotta do, of course, is cut it up. Now this is what I'm saying, you could just cut it up and eat it just like this with a knife and fork. But I went on, picked mine up, and I had to take me a bite of this beautiful sandwich. And oh my goodness, y'all, I could have ate 2 of these. But anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed this video and hit that like button. And as always, love, peace, and keep it grilling, y'all. See ya.